Hello, I'm Chris, Suffolk Record Collector, back again with another video. We've got 6 records to show. As the title suggests, these are all amazing records. They range from 1967 through till 1982. So first record I'm going to show is, for me, I'm going to call it a grail. Yeah, for me it is, yeah. It's a scarce record. The record itself is not that scarce, but this pressing, wow. I can't believe that I found it in the wild. All these records found in the wild. So, we're going to start off with that record as the first record. Okay. It's a record by the Doors. We all know, and you say, well, they're not hard to find. Then I have all the Doors records. But what I don't have are records like this. All my Doors records are early, mid-70s reissues. And they sound good. They're a good sounding record. But this is the Doors' first album. It's called The Doors. In very nice condition, really. It's an original first pressing from '67, UK first pressing in mono from 1967. Not only is it a first pressing, you can see that's in VG plus condition. There are some hairlines, but nothing that sounds hardly at all. A little bit of crackle here and there in between tracks, but not when tracks are playing at all. So this can be identified as actually from the very, very initial run pressing of this record. How you can do that, and that makes this quite a scarce pressing of this record. It is the very, very first ever pressing off in the UK in mono of this record. And how you can tell that is you need to look at the cover. So we start with the cover. These very, very initial pressings came with a US cover here in the UK. So this is thick card. Yeah, so already you're thinking, yeah, this is definitely a US cover, because you can tell the US covers, can't you? But just here, if you're going to see it, it looks like a little mark, yeah. It says printed in USA. So we're halfway there. So we have a US cover. Now you need to look at the record. Look at the label. We've got the red Elektra label. Yeah, but you need to look down in the bottom. 2 things you need to look at on this label is manufactured in England by Elektra Records UK. Very, very important, because after the initial pressing, yeah, and when you look at this, you'll see it's manufactured in England by Polydor Records, still with an Elektra label. So this is actually manufactured by Elektra, yeah. And you've got here in the corner, you can see there, just there, it says MCPS Paradox recording, first published 1967. I'm pretty sure that's only on the first run. So that makes this a very scarce pressing, because this is actual from the very, very first initial run of the record. Because after the first initial run, subsequent issues had a UK cover and you'll see manufactured on the label. That'll say manufactured by Polydor Records UK. So that's how you can tell. This is a scarce thing because of what it is. We all know the record, you know, the Doors' first album. Iconic, really, isn't it? I cannot believe that I just came across a copy of this. Yeah, and it's VG Plus. The cover has got some, you know, some wear on the corners, you can see, but no real ring wear, just the very, very start of some ring wear here. Maybe just a little bit start of ring wear on the back. Might just be able to see that. But other than that, yeah, really pleased to find that. So that's for me, that's a grail, because you just don't see, or I don't see, these early first pressings like this about at all. So really pleased to find that. Really pleased, to be fair. Really, really pleased. Next. Yeah, this band. I've got a couple of records to show from this band. This one I found up on the market here in Bury St Edmunds. It wasn't a lot of money. I can't remember what I paid for it. 18 quid, I think. Around about that sort of price. And that's very, very good. That's the band Stray. And the album Saturday Morning Pictures. Okay. I believe this is their second album, released in '71. I have a few Stray albums, but they're later, from later '70s. I think I've got one from '74 and one from '76. One's called Houdini, I think. Can't remember what the other one is called. And they're good rock albums. Yeah, I would say very good rock albums. What strokes you the band can really play on those two albums that I have. But, you know, they're not anything groundbreaking or amazing. They're later '70s. This is from '71. Like I say, I believe that's their second album, released on Transatlantic. Boy, this is good. This is good. Heavy, hard rock with a slight American feel to it. But Southern rock, maybe just slight. But amazing. Track wise on here, we have side 1, Our Song, After the Storm, Sister Mary, Move That Wigwam. Side 2, Leave It Out, How Could I Forget You, Mr. Hobo, and Queen of the Sea. Fantastic from a band that didn't really make an awful lot of headway at all. This is fantastic. This is way, way better than the other two albums I have from the later '70s. Way, way better. Nowhere near as commercial as the two albums that I have. I think they went sort of commercial route, really. And they had quite an acclaimed, their first album was quite an acclaimed thing, because they were only young lads when they recorded the first one in 1970, which was very good. But yeah, Saturday Morning Pictures from Stray, amazing stuff. So really, really good. I'm calling it a hard rock album because it is. Hard rock album with a bit of a difference, and boy, can they play. Jesus Christ, can they play. Right, so that's a Stray. Right, I'm going to do a bit of a shout out now to my local record shop, which is Vinyl Hunter down here in Bury St Edmunds. I was in there recently and having a look round, and they happened to say, Chris, there's a couple of bits here you might be interested in. So passed them over and had a look, and yes, I was immediately interested in the two records. So cut a long story short, I purchased them. Again, it's another album by Stray. This is their debut from 1970. Again, released on Transatlantic. This is their debut from 1970. Not 1970, original 1970 pressing. This is from 1971. So it's a repress really, with a label change, because the Transatlantic changed their label around about that time, because the original first press of this has the white and purple writing label. Still has an original first press cover, but it's just classed as a reissue from 1971. But it doesn't really matter, because it's still a scarce thing to find. These are not easy to find, these records at all. And boy, is this a good album. Like the one I just shown, Saturday Morning Pictures, is more of a hard rock album. Yeah, very heavy. This is very rocky, but it's more psychedelic rock, really hard psychedelic rock. You got them hit the line. They open up, track 1, they open up with All in Your Mind, which is 9 minutes 15 long. For the very first time you're ever going to hear Stray in with a 9-minute track, which is amazing. It's amazing. And then you've got Taking All the Good Things, Around the World in 80 Days, which is amazing track. Yeah, and Time Machine. So too, Only What You Make It, Yesterday's Promises, Move On, In Reverse, some say. And they finish with an 8-minute 55 track. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Sounds amazing, yeah, because this is a Porcupine press. Yeah, so an amazing sounding record. Hard to get hold of, hard to see. This is in beautiful, beautiful condition. As you can see, this is near mint. You know, beautiful thing. And it's, you know, not an easy record to find today. So really pleased. I mean, these two Stray records are absolutely amazing. They're different from each other. This is a completely different type of music. This is more psychedelic rock. I would say, well, it is psychedelic rock. Quite hard, quite heavy psychedelic rock. And they were very young, only 18, 19-year-olds when they recorded this record. And it is quite a phenomenal thing when you think of that. And how good this record is. And the band, they never made it. They never made it, not into the big time at all. Which, when you listen to their records, even the later 70s ones, they can play. They can really, really play. Very tight. Even this record, their debut, is a very, very tight record. You know, and they're shown on here that they can play. So that's Stray's debut. Really pleased to get that. And the second record they hooked me up with was this one. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. That's Daevid Allen and Euterpe. And the album Good Morning. Now, this is a beautiful record. Daevid Allen, as you should know, was a founder member of Gong. They released their famous albums, the Flying Teapot Trilogy, the last 3 that they done, which was Radio No, Invisible, Angel's Egg and You. After they recorded You, the band sort of broke away. David Allen left the band, and a few other people who they had that sound, yeah. And from then on, Gong, the original Gong, carried on, but they went far much more into jazz fusion and become proper jazz fusion 8-bit band, which is amazing stuff. But it wasn't the Gong anymore. So there's lots of like breakaway bands from Gong and everything. Anyway, this is David Allen's album from 1976. He recorded this at his home in Spain, in Mallorca. He paired up with some local musicians, Spanish musicians, called Euterpe. They got together and they produced this, which is amazing. Really is an amazing record. It's a little bit in the vein of original Gong, but it's a bit different as well because you've got the band is Spanish, so you can hear the Spanish influences here and there. It's very laid back, more accessible music than Gong, so it's different in that respect, but it is a fantastic record and well worth searching out. It's a record you do not see about very often. So thank you guys down at Vinyl Hunter here in Bury St Edmunds. So that's the original first press on Virgin. This hadn't been played, I don't think, or if whoever had this before looked after this, or they didn't play it. Very laid back, beautiful music. Well worth checking out. So that's David Allen. Next, this has got to be bargain. This is a bargain. This record was a bargain. Up on the market, searching away, and he's got his racks, and then he's got boxes underneath, loads of boxes and stuff underneath. And I'm looking through these boxes underneath, and I come across this, and the box was just all sort of like, I don't know, stuff that weren't for me. There was disco music in there. It was all pretty rough looking stuff. You know what I mean? Tucked away in there was this. And it was dirty. The cover was filthy. I've cleaned it up a bit, but it's still a little bit dirty. But this is quite a scarce pressing of a extremely well-known record from '77. I'm very pleased to have found it, so I'll just tell you what it is. That's the Sex Pistols. I mean, I have a copy of this, but not this copy. As you can see, no band names on the, no track listing on the back. So what, in really nice VG Plus condition. I mean, this was filthy, absolutely filthy. It took quite a bit of cleaning, but I've got it too. It's lovely, quiet. It's amazing. So what this is, so we know the album, never mind the bollocks, is Sex Pistols. First pressings look similar to this, yeah, but they come. This is not first pressing, but they come with a single and a poster. That's reported that there was 1,000 of those. The second state, which looks like this as well, came with just a single. Don't know how many, no poster. Don't know how many of those there were. And then this is classed as the third state. Okay, so it's got the amended tracks on it, so it has the addition of Submission on here, where the previous two did not have Submission on here. So this is the first time, the first actual pressing with the admission of the track Submission. Still got like a first press cover. Evidently there were not many of these, because once they'd used up this cover, they went on to the cover with the track listing on the back. Yeah, so quite a scarce thing. And I picked this up for 25 quid, and it's VG Plus. The cover's not, I mean, the cover's dirty, you can see that. I mean, I have cleaned it up a lot, but it's still very grubby. I doesn't clean it up anymore because it's not a laminated cover. But really, really pleased to have found it. VG Plus for an iconic record. I suspect that's a 50 quid record all day long. I don't know. You just don't see these early pressings. It's an early pressing. And one for the collection. There are some very rare pressings, later reissues as well, that are amazing. There's a DMM one that's supposed to be absolutely fantastic, and that's quite pricey, I believe. Anyway, so that's the Sex Pistols. And lastly, a record. Well, yeah, it is a record. That's from the band XTC. Now, I have, prior to getting this one, that I'm going to show in a minute, and listening to it, yeah, I had a couple of, I've got a couple of XTC albums in my collection. You know, I had them quite a few years. And yeah, they're okay. Yeah. I was aware of the singles back in the day, and they were all good and everything. And the albums that I had in the collection already are these, which is Black Sea and The Big Express. Yeah, and I thought they were okay. Yeah. I hadn't listened to them for years, but I thought they were okay. But this record here, I've seen so many people talk about it on YouTube, on VC and stuff over the years, and thought, well, I might, if I see a copy, I'm going to pick it up, because the other two are okay. This is supposed to be how people have talked about this. It's been very good. Anyway, yeah. So that's the album, English Settlement, XTC. That's an original first pressing. Yeah. It's a double album. I'll show you one of the labels. They come like that. Really nice copy. Really nice copy. Wasn't expensive at all. I paid about 25 for this. Something like that. I'd never heard it before in my life. So I get home, I clean it. One night I sit down and I listen to this. I stick it on, and within 2 minutes, I'm thinking, yeah, this is good. And I'm listening away, and I have to play the whole thing. And when that's finished, I'll put it on again, and I'll play it again. And I've had this a couple of months now. I've had to live with this a while. Yeah, amazing. This is an amazing album. Absolutely. What anyone said about this, I cannot argue with whatsoever. It is an amazing record. And I go back and I listen to this, especially this record, which is Black Sea by XTC. And I get it. I now get it. This is not quite as good, but this is a fantastic record as well. And this is good. Not as good as those two, but really is good. And I'm definitely, after listening to English Settlement, I see XTC in a little bit of a different light. And I think I'm going to have to be looking out for some more of their stuff because, yeah, really, really good. Highly recommended. I mean, standout tracks for me, well, Runaways, Ball and Chain, Sensors Working Overtime, and Jason and the Argonauts, just side one. I mean, it's just an amazing. I mean, English Roundabout, Down in the Cockpit, Fly on the Wall. I mean, yeah, I get it now. Amazing band. So that's English Settlement from XTC, and that is it. As you got to the end of the video, and as you can see, all these 6 records, amazing records, added to the collection. I want to thank everyone who subscribes. Thank you. And everyone who even watches the video, thank you. It means an awful lot. So, but thumbs up is always a good one. Always appreciate that. So, until the next time, stay good, everyone.